Hi gorgeous lights, welcome to an energy update for the week starting the 24th of March. Oh my gosh, it's all go. There is so much going on in the airways. We're in a eclipse or pre-eclipse energy, which is making people feel really unsettled. There's solar flares going on. There's just a timeline shift that we're actually heading into, which is different from a dimensional shift. So when we shift dimensions, I always notice that things get sharper, clearer, we notice more details. The body can also just be a little bit heavier until we settle into a dimensional shift. But a timeline shift is actually really, really amazing because we're heading into, it's almost like a quantum timeline shift where some of the rules that are available in our current reality, if you like, are going to expand, and we're going to be able to access more in this new timeline. So like anything, for those people that are awake and aware, you can be getting symptomatics, and if you're influenced massively by the mood that this eclipse will hit you, I know personally I don't sleep very much when in this moon energy, and especially eclipse energy. So depending what your moon sign is, you can actually be influenced in this regard as well. And if you're feeling a really deep, almost like kind of like semi-ache in your solar plexus, then understand that's the point that anchors us into timelines from our higher self, and we were connected to our higher self, comes in our solar plexus. So if you're having issues, make sure to think yellow or self-nurture, self-regulate, because we're in self-care energy as we transition through this. Watch out for petty dramas. Because as people feel frazzled on the inside, they can look okay on the outside, but then they're very reactive, is what Spirits are saying to me. And I think probably at the end of the day, this is a self-care, this is refocus. Exactly, thank you. They've just said take charge of your thoughts and your thought processes. If your brain's drifting to an old timeline of hardship or victimhood or martyrdom, then make sure to refocus and look and playing that song, accentuate the positives, because there is a real need to actually accentuate what you want to focus on, what you're taking through to the new timelines. And before everybody goes, well, is this happening really fast? We live in an instant gratification society, and the universe doesn't work like that. So this is about surrendering to the process. That just made me laugh by saying Rome isn't built in a day. No, it wasn't. And the evolution of self isn't something that you can just condense and go, it's just going to happen in this timeline, because it isn't. It's a different timeline. It has adjustment periods as we transition into it. New ways of thinking, old ways of thinking dropping off. There's a lot of people will have a very detached feeling. You may be wanting to hermit down and stay away from people. You might not feel like peopling. All of these things are happening for you to deeply connect with yourself. Now, if you're thinking I'm feeling really ambivalent, I don't seem to care very much about everything, you are detaching from one timeline reality in preparation for a new timeline reality. Please understand that your thoughts may be scattered, you may be having problems focusing, there may be annoyances surfacing that you just think, gosh, I thought I dealt with that ages ago. There may be people from your past popping back up, asking for either forgiveness or asking for other opportunities to connect, and you think, goodness, where did that person come from? So there is a lot going on to do with closure energy, to do with a particular energy timeline that we're actually transitioning out of. I'm noticing a lot of people are dealing with a lot of issues, are dealing with a lot of frustrations and worries, because fears also are being looked at to be let go of, so that we can transition into this new timeline as well. As I said, there's a lot going on. Holding your own light, which is a phrase that Spirit used quite a lot, which is anchoring, and I love that too. Anchoring in yourself. I'm the person that I'm supposed to be. I'm looking at what I need for myself, and everything is responding around me. But what I do need to have control of is how I'm dealing with my own self right at the moment, with empathy, compassion, and understanding. So gorgeous lights, there's a lot going on, and there's a need for you to kind of just breathe and just do one foot in front of the other, because you're anchoring energy in. Anchor one step, one step, one step, one step. So conscious mindfulness is what the guides are talking about at the moment, which is actually stopping your brain just being like a ferret on a lead and running around going, oh, what about this, or oh, what about this, or what about this, and just stop, pull that ferret back and actually go, shush, just going to cuddle you for a bit so you don't run around all over the place, and tell yourself that you just don't need to have such erratic behaviour in your head. Refocus, bring it back. Taking a big breath, blow it out, and so I anchor myself into the now. And it's a really feeling of solidness that actually comes. It's like letting go of the part of your brain that's really can just run around going, what about this, what about this, what about this, and kind of breathing it out and anchoring into heart-based energy, which is where we're going. So I've asked Spirit to kind of explain what's happening, and they said, well, the lizard part of your brain that's very, very survival, mammalian, survival-based, is very much around fight, flight, fawn, freeze, very much around how do I control situations, how do I do this, how do I do that, and it's kind of unanchoring itself. So if you think if you unanchor something, it just floats around all over the place, and that's kind of the erraticness that I'm seeing in people's brains at the moment. And a little bit, it can make us feel wishy-washy, unfocused, not focused, thoughts drop out. There's a real unanchored feeling that's actually going on, but that part of our brain is survival based. It's very much about what happens next, what's happening next, what's happening next. So I kind of feel like in this timeline shift, there's a lot of people that are really going to anchor into those fears, if that's what they're choosing to do, and not surrender to coming back into heart-based energy. And the heart-based energy, which is really, really beautiful, is just knowing everything's fine. And you've got this. There's a solution for everything. And it's about sitting in that knowing. So I call that like the cosmic mind. So, you know, we're going from lizard brain to cosmic mind. And, you know, because part of this new timeline is living, breathing, and having a beautiful life and bringing more light in. So this is like Scrabble mode for a lot of people, where they're kind of trying to anchor into holding on to what's disappearing or what they don't need anymore, or what doesn't serve them anymore. And there's a lot of people kind of awakening in this timeline shift and going, yeah, I don't want to turn up that way anymore, and I don't want those people around me, and I'm not interested in that anymore. So, you know, this is a big, big, big time. And as we transition forward over this year, this refocus energy is gaining momentum as collective consciousness are actually rising, and it's rising in each person. But I really want to stress, and I've stressed this every time, this is an evolutionary space. Nobody evolves at exactly the same time. So dropping any expectations that everybody needs to do it exactly the same way that you want to do it, or should be, or whatever. Stop focusing on what they're doing. Stop trying to drag people forward that don't want to move forward, and start working with the truth of self. Okay, so you're anchoring in your integrity, you're looking at who you are as a person, you're coming back to loving who you are, you're limiting beliefs or overlaid projections from childhood programming. Everything's shifting and changing right at the moment, and it's incredibly important that you actually center in here in your heart-based energy. Shush the mind. Use the library shushes technique. I talk to people about that. You know, when you're a kid, you went to the library, you got told to shush in that crucial time between 0 and 10 years old, when you're kind of in a hypnotic state. So your brain actually remembers being shushed. Do it 3 times to your own brain. You'll see a remarkable result. The first time I'll be like, what? Second time it'll be, and the third time it's like zzz. And so because that core programming from childhood actually responds to being shushed, and it's your brain, so you can take control over it. So try that technique and see how you go. For those who know the banana peel, center here, go up, pull energy down right to the ground, step out of it, click it away. Cleanse your energy, look after yourself in this energy. It's really, really important that you do that. So please take care of you and honour just one foot in front of the other, so we can move through the eclipse and move through the understanding, investigate what we need to let go of, and be incredibly gentle with yourself as you actually transition through. This is self-care, self-care, self-care. Really, really important. And for those that are trying to push it away into rational mind, whatever you don't look at just gets louder. That's the way the universe shows it to you. So be aware that what you need to surrender and let go of will be shown to you during this period of time as well. Take care of you, gorgeous lights. Don't worry that I just said that. It's about you actually going, I need to get control of that lizard brain that says it's going to be negative. It isn't. You're letting go of things that doesn't serve you anymore to bring into honourability and anchor in the new you. How exciting. Focus on that.